live streaming my meeting from Zoom to YouTube. So my question to you is, what is the advantage to that?
It allows you to be in real time with your audience.
Okay, and who would see it? You're here, you see me, right?
Yeah.
You you can see me. So the question is, if you're seeing me, what would be the advantage of me to have live stream? Ariel, did you understand my question? I'm recording this to Zoom where you can get access to it after the class, or if you missed the class or you want to see it again. My question to you, Ariel, is if I live stream to YouTube, what would be the advantage? Could other be now who can come into this class are those people that are registered, right, Ariel, to this class? How about if we wanted the outside world to see us?
They can.
Could they come in unless
Yeah.
we gave them away? In Zoom, we would have to give them the link and permission. In this case, we can have another channel where around the world they could see us in live action. They could do it. So those are some of the things that we're going to be doing. So I've live streamed and I have my YouTube channel. And let me just do this. Let me share my screen with you. And do you see, in this case, Ariel, do you see,
Yes.
what do you see?
I see the live stream on YouTube on your computer.
Right, the live stream, you see the live stream on YouTube, and let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see how it's delayed? Ariel, do you see how it's
Yes.
and why is it delayed? It's delayed because Zoom has its own servers, and now it's jumping to YouTube, which is Google servers. So there's always going to be like a minute. You can see here the minute delay on that. But you can see that if you go to the channel, anyone that would go to my channel, it is training, would be able to see what we've done. And guess what, Ariel? Well, in this class, I want everything that I do, I want you to know how to do it.
Okay.
So, Ariel, what is your major?
Marketing.
Marketing. So you think about for marketing purposes, right? Having your own brand, right? You could do on YouTube Live, you can do anything that we want. Plus you could do like a Zoom meeting. So as you can see here, I can do that. So I can stop sharing and we have that. So anything we'll be doing in this case is we'll be having it. So I've kind of given you a little bit of an introduction. So let me give you an introduction of myself and also my teaching assistant, tell you how this course is going to be. The first day is the greatest for every student because what? You're not behind, right? So Matthew Tannenbaum, it's basically you're up to date right now and you got a perfect score right now and then it's later. So I'm Dr. Sarah Rushanek, and I am a professor in the business technology and health informatics at the University of Miami. My background is I'm a graduate of Tel Aviv University, and also I did my graduate work at the University of Texas at Austin. And my specialties are on how businesses can grow and prosper with technologies. And especially in these past number of years, I've been focusing in artificial intelligence and machine learning. I consult with a number of companies from Fortune 500 to startups. And I also am in the Hall of Fame of Women in Technology, and I really enjoy the idea of networking and finding areas in which people can prosper with technology. There's issues with it, and that's what we'll be doing. In my classes, what I do is I have a teaching assistant, and I also have what I call teaching assistants in training. The teaching assistants in training are students that get the material a little bit ahead of time and are conscientious and help my teaching assistants. So when my teaching assistant, for instance, has an assignment, he may pass that on to my teaching assistants in training. They may do the assignments earlier and then help other students. My teaching assistants in training, if they like working with me and they succeed, then the next semester they can become my teaching assistants, which is a paid position. So I wanted first to introduce you to Sebastian Hernandez, who, guess what, was one of my best students last semester, and not only just the best student conscientiously, but was also really going out of his way to help other students. So Sebastian, do you want to give a shout out, give a little bit background, how in terms of the student, what this class is about, and even in the chat, you can put your email and how they can get in touch with you. So your head is chopping off, Sebastian. So you know that's going to be important for me. Everybody has to be set that they see their entire face and they're doing it. So Sebastian, we don't hear you. I don't know why. And guess
Sorry,
what?
my
There's always technical, yes,
my
there's always
headset was muted.
technical difficulties.
So yeah, as she said, I am Sebastian Hernandez. I am a sophomore at the University of Miami. Like some of you odds are, I am a finance and accounting student. I took this exact class that you guys are taking on right now last semester, so it's still very freshly new in my brain. I recommend, as long as you guys just do the assignments when they're given instead of waiting for last minute, this class is very easygoing. Um, like she said, we are looking for teaching assistants in training. So if any of you guys are interested, I will be putting down my phone numbers and my email in the chat, and you guys can just either shoot me a text or send me an email, and I will answer questions if you guys are interested. Um, and yeah, looking forward to meeting all of you guys.
Okay, great. So everybody understand? So people like even Andrea, since you had some background, if you'd be interested, Andrea, stay with us. I'm going to end class a bit early today. Stay with us and we can discuss it. So we'll see if you're interested in it. Okay? Any other questions? And then Sebastian will do it. So what I usually do is Sebastian will moderate my chats, but then I usually ask for volunteers for other students to look at the chat, since I usually don't have time, and basically let me know. You can interrupt me at an appropriate time of what are questions that students may have. Okay, so do I have any volunteers of going with Sebastian to moderate the chat today? Is anyone volunteer just to look at it? Okay, we usually use it for class participation, but if there's no volunteers today, I'll be choosing people to ask them to moderate next time. Okay, great. So we have the chat here, and then you put in at this point your information. Okay, so let's see if this is a course that you want to pursue with me. I'll go over the course and we can see what we'll do. So I'm going to share my screen. And hopefully you guys can see it. And then I'm going to Blackboard. So what I like everybody to do is go to your Blackboard site. And what I want to do at this point is cover the Blackboard site of what we will be doing in class. Okay, so Ariel, do you have Blackboard? Do you have the same thing that I have?
Yes.
You see where I have it? Perfect. So in this case, you'll see the first thing is you'll see announcements many times if we have new sessions. Sebastian, and we also have Daniel Flores, who is also a former student of mine. He was 2 semesters ago, and notice already Daniel, he gave his email as well. He is now the lead teaching assistant of mine. So he's not only helping me, but also basically aiding my other teaching assistants. And then you'll see at this time, at the end of every class, we'll be doing attendance. And let's look at the syllabus first. You'll see there's a syllabus, and if I click on the spring syllabus, you'll see the course syllabus here. On the course syllabus, and let me just move my part here, you'll see I'm the instructor. My office location is remote. It basically is online. My office hours are after this class. We usually end a bit early. So if you have any questions, you stay with me and you can ask your questions. I'm recording now, but in office hours at the end, I stop recording, because one of the things that I'm going to emphasize to all of you is what I call the need to know. So I respect everyone's privacy, and when we come for office hours, I shut down my recordings. You can see this. I also have office hours after my last class on Mondays and Wednesdays. If you want, you can go to this Zoom link and you can log in and see me there and ask me questions at 7:50, even at 7:45. The course materials, you need to have a camera on your computer. You need to have a computer. In that case, I don't want you through the phone, but through the computer, because we will do different activities using the computer. We'll be using a book called Introduction to Information Systems, the 10th edition. And here you have the URL for this. You'll see the course description. You can read those on your own, but basically we'll be looking at a wide array of topics, including security. We'll be emphasizing throughout the semester AI tools. We'll be creating websites. We'll be working on group projects where you will be AI consultants in certain fields. So it could be in real estate, if that's your area. It could be in finance. It could be in accounting. It could be in fashion. It could be in therapy. It could be in legal. And including that, we'll be talking about software. Again, emphasizing machine learning, neural nets, generative AI. Will be those that have in data analytics. We'll be looking at data analytics and IoT, which is Internet of Things, security programs. Ethics, I expect everybody to honor ethical behavior. Attendance. Attendance is expected in every class. And if you have some issues, you can contact me or the teaching assistants. Faculty, meaning myself, will excuse absences only for serious illnesses, religious observation, and or participation by approved academic deans. You'll need to give me some notice. Sometimes athletes give me notice or their team gives me notice to it. And many times now, if you have COVID, you have respiratory, you're contagious. The beauty of our class is you're not going to, anyone's going to be getting any illnesses from you. So even if you get like for a doctor's note for your other classes that you shouldn't be attending, in this class, you can attend. Also, if you are not feeling well and you do not want to have your face shown, you can ask for exceptions and I will definitely grant it. In every other class, your camera needs to be on the entire time. But if you're not feeling well, there's an issue, let me know. Okay, you're expected to come in time. If you have some issues, let me know. This is about the grade policy. We're going to do some group projects so you can read along with this and you can read it. is you get a group project score, plus you need to be an active member in your group, so there will be peer review and you can review that. Late assignments need to be an excused reason. And my exam policy. My exam policy is this. My exams are in person. We have 2 exams, and we have the date already set on those exams, and they must be in person. They're going to be in the School of Business in the computer lab. Everyone will be on a computer taking their exams, and you will even bring your laptops as a backup and recovery. We're always going to talk about in this class backup and recovery. This will be done. My exam policy is that each exam will consist in 2 parts. We'll see it, multiple choice questions, and then you'll have also open-ended, thoughtful response sections. The duration of each exam will match the class periods during the class hours. There's no extra credit assignments offered. Usually class participation is critical, and you'll be judged by that. Of course, general behavior is I expect everybody to respect everyone and act professionally. Note, I've gotten a few already. For those of you that have some accommodations for that disabilities information, all my students take the exam, what I call on premise, in the School of Business on the assigned date. If you need extra time, I will give you extra time, but I'd like to have all my students with me in case you have any questions. I can answer those in real time. Every class of mine is recorded, and they'll be available to you when you go to your Zoom meetings. You'll see that. So all of them will be on Blackboard. It'll be on YouTube. Some will look at even recording using additional AI where they'll summarize the recordings. Now, this is the grading, which everybody is interested, of course, in and is concerned about. This is the grading. We have 2 exams. Each of them are 20%. We have a final project that is 25%. We have a number of assignments. Some are individual, some are group, which are 25%. And then we have class participation, your participation in moderating sessions, your participation in helping other students. The quizzes and attendance will be 10% altogether. So this is my planned class schedule. I put maybe subject to change because there's always changes that can occur. But basically, you can see that. Week 1 is January 13th through the 15th, is the introduction to the course. I'll show you that we're going to be using with Blackboard and Wiley, and they say that your assignment will go over it is reading chapter 1 from the book, taking 2 quizzes. One I'll talk about is multiple choice quizzes from chapter 1, and another one is adaptive assignment. As you know, Monday is a holiday, so this will be due next Wednesday. And you can see that on Monday, January 20th, there's no class. So you can see here that we're going to be covering the hardware. We're going to be covering the cloud. Remember, we were talking about the cloud. We'll be having software. We'll be doing screencasting assignments. We'll be looking possibility of financial trading software, data management, information security. And on March 3rd, I want everybody to put this in their calendar. March 3rd, we will have an exam in person. We will not, the word not, because it's have our exams online. I will not give you exams online, but rather I will give it in person in the Jenkins School of Business in room, I think it's 204, not 210, but we'll check on that. Sebastian, can you look that up and make sure, or we'll change it? I thought it was 204. But one time, are you ever in the School of Business, Sebastian?
The email that Daniel sent out was 210.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty
check
sure.
it. Just go. Are you ever have a class in the School of Business?
No, I have not, but I can try to
Okay, so
check real quick.
go. Yeah, just go ahead one day and check to make, because I got something that said 204. Okay, but just we'll know later on, we can then change it. But you'll see that I'll do a review for the exam. There will not be open-ended questions or 2 open-ended questions. I'll give you a number of questions beforehand of the open-ended, and you will choose from those. March 10th and the 13th, we have spring break. The 17th through the 19th, we begin. We'll be talking more about AI tools. We'll be starting final projects. Part 1, we'll even be doing, at this time, we'll be talking about our final projects that we'll do in groups. Artificial intelligence, you see here, final projects along with that. Enterprise information systems, business analytics. April 14th, we'll also do a review for the exam. And our second exam is not on the finals, but rather on April 21st. So put that in your calendar, that it is not excusable to say, oh, I was going to go on vacation with my family. I was not going to be here. I'm going on a cruise. If you have all of those are inexcusable. So I just suggest, if you are not available on March 3rd and April 21st, that you take another section, okay? And the last day of class, I can't believe it, is April 28th, and we will be presenting your final projects to me, give you one chance for some feedback from me rather than just turning it in and leaving. And then the day of your final exam, your final projects will be due. Plus, you'll be doing you'll be recording a final version. You'll be recording it in Zoom. You'll be recording it as a cloud recording, and you'll be submitting it.
Professor, I just
Okay.
double checked. If it's the
Yeah.
same room, if it's the same classroom as last semester was
Yeah.
204.
Okay, so can you be so kind and Sebastian, update that everywhere?
Yeah, I'll
Especially
do
on
that.
the go ahead on the
Syllabus.
I thought so. Go ahead on the course syllabus and then upload a new version on it.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Thank you. Perfect. So that's what I thought. You know, when that's the beauty of what we're doing, is we basically have to correct each other. You know, we all make mistakes, and I thought if it was 210 as well. Okay. So everybody clear on the syllabus? Any questions about that? Briggs, is that straightforward to you? Okay. 2 exams in person and a lot of assignments. Every week we'll be doing things. If you do not, and they're assignments that you have to struggle with. You know, Andrea, the computer, basically, you have to think and try out and do. If you do not like those types of tasks, you will be disappointed in this class, because you'll be actually having to try out. And sometimes if it doesn't work the first time, we got to try it the second time. And what we'll be doing is trying to help each other. We won't be doing each other's work, right? So Andrea, if somebody comes to you, I expect you to help them, but not do their work, right? And basically, if it's due tomorrow, right, they're not be calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning, Andrea, and saying, help me, right? But you want to do it, and guess what, Andrea? You'll get stuck on something and you want help from someone else too. So I see us as basically being a collaborative group of people together. And that I don't have all the answers. All this technology is coming so quickly that I am every week finding other things that I need to implement and try out and see. We will have guest speakers coming in. And the beauty, since we're online, these guest speakers can be anywhere in the world, right? So they'll be coming from all different aspects of the world. We'll have one coming from Britain doing chatbots. We'll be creating our own chatbots as well, chatbots that will create those as well. Okay, so that's one part. So let me go back and share my screen again. So we got the syllabus down. We have attendance. We know the Zoom meetings. You come in through Zoom. We'll have the same link, but it's good to come through Zoom. And then this is the area called What's Due. What's due is important because it will always tell you what's due for the following session. And in this case, let me turn this off. In this case, you see your assignments on that. So in this case, Thomas, do you see due Wednesday, January 22nd before class? Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no? Good. So you see that, Thomas Alexander? So it says the first thing is sign up for Wiley Plus Online. We'll try to do that today. And that basically is to sign up for the readings, for the adaptive assignments, and then there's for each chapter, their quizzes. And in this case, I also want you to register for the New York Times and Wall Street Journal. We have it usually is a paid subscription. Our university allows our students and faculty and staff to get free versions. So I want to take advantage of that. Why? Because I want outside readings of what is going to be new, especially in technology. So this is our first assignment. And if you look at the first assignment under Wiley Reading and Adaptive, you have Introduction to Information Systems. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing. So Andrea, do you have that adaptive one? Do you see that of adaptive? Can you share your screen? Because I have a different version. Because what role am I, Andrea? I'm the instructor. So I have a different view than you, Andrea. So Andrea, can you share your screen?
Yeah, for sure.
So everybody can see it. And that's what I'll have in participation. Notice that I'll call on people. And when I ask you something, you'll have this. So when you think about online, one is that we have it. So we have Andrea then is sharing, right? And we want to see your source. So maybe, okay. And at this case, had you ever gone into it yet? Welcome to your new book. What did you do, Andrea?
I just logged in last night just to make sure my account was working, but I didn't really interact with it.
Okay, so you do it and then just a welcome to your new book. Let's say next. Okay, next. First comes the table of contents. Let's see what happened. Can you click next? Introduction. Now, go back in this case. Can you go back to the tab on Blackboard? And let's go back, course-wide research. Let's go back even further. Let's go just to go back to business technology, right? Go back to the course, go into the course H1, and we'll go over it. You have it. And then on the side there, you see where everybody see where it says Wiley, what's due, but then Wiley Reading and Adaptive. Click on that, Andrea. Okay, and then this is the case. The Wiley Plus course resources, you will see is all of the chapters in the book. But what I want you to do is click on chapter 1, Introduction to Information Systems. And in this, you will see, this is broken down, Andrea. Everybody see that? 1-1, why should I study information systems? Click on that. And it will bring you to the book. So you can study any way you want. I'm not requiring you any way. Everybody has a different learning style. Now go back again to where you were before. And now you can go through each of those sections. That's the readings from the book. But what is required, Andrea, and everybody pay attention, is at the end of that folder, it says chapter 1, Info Systems Adaptive 10E. Everyone in the class needs to do the adaptive, that's called the adaptive quiz at the time that it's due. So if you click on that, Andrea, after you do the readings, then you have open assignment, getting ready, you go through this and you take an adaptive assignment. Sometimes it takes some people, because it's adaptive, it's going to be based on your progress, and it's going to be based, Andrea, on how well you do. So it'll skip. You'll have different questions than Briggs will, and than Michael will. You'll have different questions each time. So in this case, you'll have different questions, and you need just to accomplish that. Is that clear, Andrea? Okay, now go back, Andrea, since you're on a roll, and since you're coming with a different, let's go to just the head of business technology, right? You can go to business technology, close it, and then you can even go just in the beginning. You see that was the Wiley reading and adaptive. Okay, the next thing you need to do is go to quizzes. Now let's go to quizzes. And what do you have under quizzes, Andrea?
Nothing.
Nothing. Right. So I need to open up your quizzes, because what role do you have in this class, Andrea? You have the role of student. I have the role of instructor. And when you become a teaching assistant, like Sebastian, he will have a role of teaching assistant, right? Where he will have other parts. So what we'll be doing, Andrea, next week is I'll be opening up another section of Blackboard, where in this section you were a student. In the other section next week, Andrea, you will be a teaching assistant, and everyone in the class will be a teaching assistant, meaning that you will get the full powers of Blackboard. Do you understand? And all your group activities and many of your assignments will be going through your second Blackboard. But I'm giving you then the skills then that hey, I'm also administrator of Blackboard. Plus we'll be able, we'll talk about what are the different roles. So stop sharing. And we're back. And now I share because I have a different view. And when I share, I'm going to go to quizzes, and notice I'm blank, right, Andrea? But what I have up here is I have an edit mode that is on, so I have a lot of the material. And notice under this material where it says quiz chapter 1, introduction to information system, I'll show everyone what is behind the scene. I'm going to go to edit test options, and it says quiz introduction, right? It says show test description, open test in new window. And Andrea, it says make available to students. Right now it says what?
No.
No. What should I make it? Of course, yes. And I want to add it to a new assignment. I say yes, right? Because I have the role. And right now I want the quizzes to be used as just a study guides. So I want to give people, rather than one attempt, 2 attempts. The quizzes here, it's another quizzes. You can do it, Andrea, open book. You can use all the resources that are available in order to do the quizzes. In the exam, it will be closed book, closed resources. But for the quizzes, I want you to use it as study, so it makes the attempt 2. But note that the score attempts using the last graded attempt. So if you got, for instance, Andrea, 90 on the first attempt, and the second attempt you got 80, it doesn't make any sense. Why? Because you have open book here. I'm giving you on the last graded attempt. I'm not going to force completion, meaning, Andrea, if you want to take 10 minutes, you want to take a half hour, you want to take 3 minutes, I'm not going to force you completion. I'm not going to set a timer. And in this case, it will be displayed. We'll have it displayed. It will be due. I'm going to give it a due date. And what due date am I giving it? I'm going to give it not on the 20th, but the 22nd. And I'll give it till midnight on the 22nd. After the midnight on the 22nd, you won't be able to take it. And then include this test in the grade center, yes. And what should I do at this time? Show results and all at once. And what should I do? I submit. Now, Andrea, do you see it on your side?
I'll
If you
check right now.
refresh?
Sorry, just 1 second. It's very slow. I apologize. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not your
Yes,
fault.
it's there. It's there.
Okay. So let's review that. Every time you will be taking, for each week, you will be taking a Wiley reading and adaptive, and you will be taking a quiz. And then you see here PowerPoints and documents. These are your PowerPoints. And later on our PowerPoints, the first chapter, it's those generic chapters, right, on what is information systems. But what I've done here is I've also done a PDF. So later on, we can put it into other AI programs like Notebook, Google, and you can even create from the material, you can create your own study guides, and you can ask it for multiple choice questions that it can create for you to give you more practice sessions. And we'll be trying those out as well. So you can see here for use with Google's Notebook LM. Some of you that are more curious, you can even look at this in the first week and use Google Notebook LM and put this PDF in and see what you come up with. My grades, and I think that takes the spot. Comment, Sebastian. By the way, Andrea, thank you so much for being on the spot. It's almost like we rehearsed it, right? So, Sebastian, any comments?
No, all good on my end.
Okay, so the key here is what the struggle is, that how do you get to, how did you even start, is that you just have to sign up on Wiley Plus. On Wiley Plus, under those adaptive assignments, just click on, not on the resources, just click on the chapter 1, and it should bring you there. I suggest you need to pay for Wiley Plus, but you get 14 days of an evaluation. So what I would tell the class is, you're not sure you want to be with me. Right, Ava? No offense. I won't take offense, but you have choices. I have chosen to teach this class, right? So I will be here every week, but you have choices. You don't need to be with me. So I would take it, Ava, I would say, take the 14-day trial, see if this is worth it, because the other sections aren't doing what I'm doing, right? I'm kind of a specialty on it. I do a lot of research in this area, and I call it I'm eating my own dog food. What I struggle with and what I do, I share it with you, and we struggle together to do it. And we look at new technologies, and I do outside advisement. So I have those people also join me in coming in and sharing with you what they have, and they get from you, basically getting a focus group from you, and you get to see what they're doing as well. So I like to look at new technologies and see how can this help us, and also look at what are the disadvantages, you know? So for instance, if I share, I told you to look at went under the syllabus, right? If I looked at the syllabus here, you can see that on the course description of the planning of the syllabus, we also talked about getting the library, right, to get those scores. So if you go to basically then Miami.edu library, right? If I were going to look up that, right? And I get my university, my library.miami.edu. Everybody see where I am? And in this case, right, that you can see here that you can find release, right, the accounts. You can see here newspaper descriptions. And if you go to newspaper subscription, what's the beauty? You have local online papers, but what I like better is this area. Live web editions of the Financial Times, New York Times, and Wall Street Journal. You can subscribe to all three of these. I want you to subscribe especially to the New York Times and Wall Street Journal. If you want to subscribe to the Financial Times, you're welcome to do that. That is free for you, where you get the digital version. And for instance, what I'd like to do is on the Wall Street Journal online, if I go even today on the Wall Street Journal, you can see that in the subscription, what I like to look at is the text section. Everybody see that? You see where under the text section, it has an AI section. And what I like under the technology section is that they have, you can kind of get a feel for AI, why cost avoidance became an AI buzzword for holding down the head count. This is kind of like an interesting article where businesses are starting to link their artificial intelligence initiative with paring back hiring plans or so-called cost avoidance in an effort to justify investing in technology. So basically, people are saying, hey, am I not hiring more, or I'm getting rid of my job, right? So you can see kind of areas with that. And you get a feel for, every week I'll give you an article to read, but you can read on your own to get a feel for where is AI going to. NVIDIA is huge, right? It's $1 trillion. Anybody wants to even get near NVIDIA, have their name associated, they think they're doing well. So you can see there's a lot of money here, and the question is, how much is hype? How much will tech change your life? You know, but basically you can see that these areas of AI are incredible. So I want us to go beyond the textbook, because the textbook is great for foundational purposes, but it is not good to see for what's happening yesterday, last week, or tomorrow. So you'll see that again, how I can conclude here on the what's due section. This is what you need to look at. So in this case, you can read that article. Here's an article that you can look in. I can open in a new tab, and we'll explore this as well, but looking at what we call not even Gen AI, but what we call AI agents. And AI agents are going to take over repetitive jobs. So these businesses are using AI agents, or what they call bots, like robots, for drug discovery, customer service, marketing, writing code, research. And they say, but they aren't quite ready to let the bots run amok. So basically, do we still need humans? Where are they at? So this is an interesting article for next week. Questions? So see, Steve Guy, what is your major?
Finance.
What?
Finance.
Finance as well. So you have any questions? So Steve, what's due for, what's the next assignment? What's due?
The
the next
readings
time.
on the Wiley readings on Blackboard.
Wiley's reading them back, and what else?
The chapter 1.
Chapter 1, which one? We have to have two types of testing. One is called quizzes, and what's the other one? Steve?
Can you remind me?
Well, why don't you look at what's due? Do you see the what's due section? I want you to remind me. So go into what's due. You see the
Okay.
tab of what's due?
Yeah, readings and adaptive assignments
And quizzes,
and
right?
quizzes. Yeah.
So guys, so Steve, each time before after the class, you go and look at what's due, and you find it rather than me reminding you, right, or somebody else, and then go and then see for Wednesday. What I'll do is cover the important issues plus deal with any issues that we had, because our assignments are due next Wednesday. But this Wednesday, I'd like to go over, see if there are any issues that we have. And guess what? We'll have issues every week. Your idea then and your purpose will be trying to resolve those issues and reaching out to others and to maybe help. And Wiley Plus gives us issues. Also, when you're doing Wiley Plus, Guy, sometimes people have a problem using Safari or Firefox. So use, in this case, Chrome. A lot of times works better. So you have like these issues that you have. And then what is important is that you document your issues. Did you hear that, Briggs? So what's going to be important in this class to say it didn't work, or I stopped doing the homework because it didn't work, is not acceptable in this class. What you need to do is not everything works, but you have to basically have shown how you've tried to resolve that problem. One is by what? Taking screenshots. We'll talk about other ways, doing recordings, what we call screencasting, going to other ways in which we can collaborate. So I welcome you to this class. And you can see I'm going to be, even Sebastian, we're going to try out new software. Then even every semester, I'm basically going to be changing this class based on what's new. Because on what's new in this area, especially in artificial intelligence, it's changing every day in the process. And what I want you to do is keep up to date, that in that case, you will have at the end of this time, you will have the tools, you'll have your own portfolio to show what you've done. And you'll see the drawbacks of it, right? You'll see where humans, you'll see how it's improving. You'll see where you'll be critical of it. but you won't be in the dark. And we won't be just putting our head in the sand and saying, oh, that we just don't want to use, we'll just use a little chat GPT and that's it. My contention is that everybody, if you want to be competitive, will be using it. Just the right way to use it. That's the way. Any questions? So hopefully I'll see everyone that's interested next Wednesday. The other thing we'll do right now is we'll take attendance. And Andrea, can you be so kind and stay with us at the end of this class? And then I'll share my screen and we'll show you how attendance works. And I'll go to attendance, see how it works. I'll do check-in. I'm going to start check-in on attendance. And the PIN number is 2389. So once you've done attendance, you can be excused from the class. And those of you that continue to stay with me, I'll see you on Wednesday. Those that this doesn't seem to be the right way, or that you don't want to be in this class, that's fine. I like to have it be out front in the beginning, and I wish everyone the best. Okay? So go ahead and do the attendance. Anyone having a problem with that? Is that working for everyone? Juan Carlos, is that working for you? Did you do the attendance?
Yeah, I just submitted it.
Perfect. And I welcome you.
Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you. Daniel, hi.
Hello, I got out a little early, so I figured I'd pop.
Okay, right, the first day.
I
So
fixed
stay with
that,
us, Daniel.
that mistake
What?
in the syllabus.
Oh, on the, did you see on the,
Yeah,
I
don't know
thought
what I was
about it.
thinking. There you
What?
go. I don't know why I made the mistake, but
I think you know why you made the mistake? Because of me. I think I thought it was 210. So I was like ChatGPT, you know, I said it with confidence and it was completely wrong, but I hallucinated.
that's what it is. I went
Okay.
out, I'm in the room right now. I went out to check. and-
What? Okay, so great. So we found it. Okay, so Daniel, let me just stop recording. I'm going to stop sharing. And then I'm going to stop my recording. Yes, and I'm